I'm Rashad Peters here with the Audio Files. Here with Mr. John Fulford.
What's up, everybody?
You might not know the name, might not know the face, but you definitely know the work. He's been involved in a bunch of TV shows, movies. Look him up, man. Google him. The guy is the P. Diddy of music licensing.
No, thanks. That's dope.
Yeah, real talk, man. So today I just really wanted to talk to you about the whole music conference experience. I know that you've probably been to a lot of them.
Oh yeah,
you know,
going back 13 years.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you say is the best way to stand out as far as
Okay, no, that's a great question. The best way to stand out, like my philosophy is, it doesn't really okay. When there's a baseball player and he goes to the playoffs, it's all the work he put in during the regular season that makes him shine during the playoffs, right? So it's what you do in between conferences that'll help you stand out at a conference. You know, so if you're calling the supervisors and you're emailing them, and then you see they're speaking at a conference, and then when you go up to them and approach them after a panel, all that work you put in before, you're already ahead of the game, as opposed to just going to a conference cold.
Right.
You know, and you're at a disadvantage. So I would say the best way to stand out at a conference is to work hard all year long, so when the conference comes, you're already ready. You already know what the supervisors are working on before you even go to the conference. So instead of saying, "What are you working on?" you could say, "Hey, I want to talk to you about this specific project." You know what I mean? So it takes a lot of the luck. You know, preparation, you don't need as much luck. So when you do get lucky, like for instance, today I was speaking with a supervisor that I've spoken to, you know, a few times over the last year, and I said, "I'm going to Havana, Cuba to record some Cuban music." Well, guess what? She's working on a pilot that's set in Havana.
Look at that.
So that's the luck. You want luck to be like that.
Right.
You
luck
know?
is when work meets opportunity.
Yeah,
right?
totally. So why I was speaking with her is because I worked on other shows that she works with as well. So that's how I got the opportunity to sit down with her for a few minutes to even bring up Havana instead of being in a crowded after panel scrum. Like, you know, like I would have never been able to just kick it and do that. You know?
100%, man. That's great advice. I also noticed that you've been involved with the PMA for a while.
Sure.
It's something that you talked about on your YouTube.
Sure.
Did you go to the first one? Like, have you been going to the?
Yeah, interesting question. I actually had a meeting at Extreme Music the day of the first one, so I didn't make it to the first one, unfortunately, which was my fault. Then last year I moderated a panel on advertising.
Oh, nice.
And then now I'm at this one, so I've been to numbers 2 and 3.
and 3.
Yes.
So how have you seen it grow, like from the one that you worked to this one? Has it?
Yeah, interesting. It's different. Like this is 2 days now, so it's double the amount of panels, double the amount of logistics, double the amount of work that all the PMA volunteers put in.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten bigger.
Yeah.
And it's doubled in length, so that creates a lot of opportunities for people to come in from out of town.
Right.
If it's only 1 day, you're not going to get as many people coming in from out of town as if it's a 2 day.
I for sure wouldn't have come.
Yeah, if it's just a 1 day thing. 1 day panels are great, but a 2 day panel or a 3 day panel, in some cases, it just brings a whole other dimension. You could fly panelists in.
Right.
Because last year, I had a hard time convincing the PMA to fly a panelist in from San Francisco, let alone New York.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to fly him in for 1 day, him or her in for 1 day, but if it's a 2 day panel, it's a different story.
Right.
You know, like Melissa Chester from BBDO flew in from New York to speak. It's the first time I ever heard of her speaking on a panel anywhere in the world, let alone in LA where I'm at.
BBDO is a huge advertising agency.
Huge advertising, AT&T, Mountain Dew, and a bunch of other brands.
You've seen their commercials.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that was really cool. That would not have happened if it was a 1 day event.
Nice.
No way.
Nice.
No way.
How do you feel like the PMA could help someone trying to get into the music licensing game?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a great question. The PMA, for someone just trying to get in, it brings you closer to the cats with budgets. You know, it's not going to guarantee you any work, but it will help you get the work. What's most important is the terminology. What does MFN mean? What does both sides mean? What does one stop mean? Those kinds of terminologies, the PMA they're kind of corralling, best terms to use, because PMA libraries can't discuss budgets with one another. That's antitrust. That's monopoly. So they can't say, okay, you're charging how much? Oh, I'm going to charge this much. They can't collude like that, but they can collude and say, okay, Facebook, is Facebook a website or a social networking platform?
Right.
So how do we price the license? They get collude on terminology and terms, and that is gold when you're talking to a music supervisor or an editor, and they say, is this one stop? Can we get this MFN? And you already know what those terms are, so you don't have to go, and if you hesitate like that, that's going to bring the value down, because they're going to know that you don't know exactly what they're talking about. So you have to know these terms. You can't really learn on the go with those things.
John's giving you keys right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Your keys.
I'm sorry, I just hit the table.
You might have image stabilizer on. We'll see how it looks. But that's why I would join the PMA. The composer membership is like $100 a year now.
Right.
And why they had that? See, I signed up as a library, so I got to pay a lot more than $100. But a lot of composers, rightly so, were saying, hey, we belong in the PMA as well. And it took a long time to get that composer membership going, but it was definitely needed, and it's definitely benefiting everybody. And I know the PMA board members are kind of regretting that they didn't do that sooner.
Right.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I just found out about the PMA through your podcast.
Oh, dope.
So, or your YouTube.
Yeah.
But the last thing, speaking of your YouTube, I wanted to talk about was Fulfords World. It's really interesting considering the fact that you're already pretty established in this industry.
Sure.
Why did you start your YouTube channel, and where do you see it going?
I started the YouTube channel because I want to meet composers and producers and musicians from all over the world. And a great way to do that is through YouTube. I firmly believe that the YouTube headquarters, or the YouTube space, they have a YouTube space in LA, and I went down there and I just got really inspired. So I started making videos, like little tutorials and advice and things like that, and I've met a lot of great producers through YouTube. Some of them, like I paid them advances to co-publish on stuff they haven't even written yet.
Oh, wow.
It's like, yo, here's money, just when I need you, you have to work for me when I need you, but here's some money up front before I need you.
Wow.
On Saturday, I was hanging out with a music supervisor watching football, and he says that they needed dinner jazz music. So I went home. I went on with my little camera, and I said, hey, everybody, I need dinner jazz music. And then I am flooded with great dinner jazz from all over the world. From Brazil, a gentleman emailed me last night from Brazil. Brazil to Virginia to someone that lives 5 miles away from me, but I never met them.
Right.
So that's what that's why I started it, and it's working out. Where it's going now, I just want to grow it. I want to get my viewers writing with one another, which is starting to happen. Like they're meeting in the comments and
definitely.
writing with one another.
I've met some people.
That's awesome. And build the community. And I want to get music schools involved and start having some of the instructors from the music conservatories come and give tutorials and things like that, and just build a community. Because right now, the people watching this, someone watching this right now is going to be the next big superstar.
Definitely.
Musician or producer or something. So let's work together, for the future, for now and for the future.
Exactly. All right, man. I think that's a great way to end it.
Cool.
Definitely check out his YouTube channel, Fulfords World. You have anything you want to pimp right now?
Fulfords World. It's youtube.com/music sync licensing. You find it, just look it up, Fulfords World, Fulford, and you'll see it. Subscribe. I have a lot of great videos. Thanks for having me.
Oh, all day, man.
And send some music. Let's get it going. There's so much opportunity out there for music if you go after it. So we both need a lot rabid, animalistic musicians that want to have their music heard.
Yeah.
And it'll be heard.
100%. We're out.